a huge biblical find in Jerusalem, Israel. Another biblical prophecy was fulfilled a couple of days ago. Zechariah chapter 9 verse 5, the people of Gaza will shake with fear. No king will be left in Gaza. Verse 6, I will destroy the prince of the Philistines. October the 7th, 2023 attack on Israel is what started this whole. God is just so special, even down to the smallest details. How odd is it that a rock quarry over 2,000 years old was just now excavated 2 days ago? 2 days ago. In Zechariah chapter 9 verse 5, the biblical prophecy about the leader in Gaza was fulfilled. Zechariah 12, 3 through 4, on that day I will make Jerusalem an immovable rock. All the nations will gather against it to try to move it, but they will only hurt themselves. And according to Jeremiah, God used Israel's enemies to draw his people back home. The first red heifers they've had in over 1,000 years, and they have to have that before they can build the third temple. And the third temple already has a prototype that people will be able to walk through and see in Jerusalem in 2025. Not all events preceding the second coming of Christ are dreadful. Many are joyful. The Lord said, light shall break forth among them that sit in darkness, and it shall be the fullness.
Now, for the rest of that video, she just drones on about how she rededicated her life in 2023. And now she's, a super spiritual, super Jesus follower. It amazes me that when people believe in a religion, they will find any information to try to validate that religion, whether or not it is true or not. And definitely she has not done any study in whatsoever in order to be able to understand anything that she's talking about. The first thing, and I'm going to work in a little bit in reverse here because it's the easiest one to deal with first. The red heifer, yes, there are red heifers in Israel right now that have never been, they are supposedly perfect and have never known a yoke, have never worked. But this past Passover, those red heifers were not sacrificed, and those red heifers have to be sacrificed in order for them to build the temple. But the other problem is that they're building the temple adjacent, across the street, so to speak, from the Dome of the Rock, which is where the first and second temple were actually built. So now, what does that have to do with it? It's in the wrong place, and they haven't built it. And I doubt if they ever will, because it will erupt World War III if they ever do. The Arab nations will all come against Israel at that time frame. But they're not doing it. They're scared. They know better. They know what's going to happen. And they can't guarantee that they're going to get support from all the NATO nations. Now, as far as her talking about these prophecies coming true, the first one that she just threw up there real quick with the fact that there was a rock quarry that was found in Jerusalem that dates back to the time frame when Jesus supposedly lived. But if she had read the entire article, she would have read that there have been dozens of rock quarries found in and around that area, all the way out to Nazareth and Bethlehem and all these other cities. Because guess what? Guess what? When this area was conquered by the Romans in the mid-2nd century, Rome builds roads, Rome builds temples, Rome builds structures and cities. So it is not uncommon to find Roman rock quarries all throughout Israel and the rest of the Mesopotamia, because Rome was one of the great building societies that has ever come about, because Roman concrete made it so much easier, and Roman roads allow for information to be moved quickly, trade to be moved quickly, and more importantly for the Romans, for military to be moved quickly. So to find rock quarries, that's not uncommon to find rock quarries during that time frame. It's actually incredibly common to find rock quarries. And simply because you find a rock quarry doesn't mean that that proves Jesus. That just proves that the Romans were there and they were building shit. That's it. That's all it proves. Now, I will throw in there that older Bibles used to say that Joseph, Jesus' adopted father, was a stonemason, which would make sense since one of the larger rock quarries were found outside of Nazareth. But anyway, I digress. The other thing that she talked about, which is just shows that she has not done any research whatsoever, is she quotes verses of the Bible that talks about the king and prince of the Philistines being killed, being destroyed. If she had studied history at all, she would have recognized that the Philistines were destroyed. They were destroyed by the Babylonians. And the Philistines were a non-Semitic group of people who were in the southwest area of the Levant, in Gaza and Aquilan, but they were destroyed by the Babylonians. The remaining ones merged into the Babylonian society. Now, later on, during the Persian time frame, they resettled the area of Philistia. Those who resettled the Philistia called themselves Phoenicians. The Phoenicians then left and went to North Africa and started Tunisia and called themselves the Punics. The Punics became part of the Roman Empire. As a matter of fact, you have, I believe, 3 Punic emperors who ruled Rome, who were the Punic people. So at best, modern day Philistines are more than likely Arabs who were absorbed into the Babylonians, Arabs who became the Phoenicians and became the Tunisians, the Punic, and then Europeans. They are not the people of Palestine. The reason why some people have thought that they may have become the people of Palestine is because the similarity of the name. But no linguistic scholar and no historian agrees that they are the same people. The Palestinians are Arab people, but they are not the Philistines. The Philistines have ceased to exist. They don't exist. There's no one who's a Philistine. The best probability that you can get would be the Phoenicians. So this person hasn't studied anything. She's just high on Jesus because she had found safety and security in that religion, and now she is trying to propagate some information that is false. And it just shows that most of the people who believe in religions, and particularly this one, they do not study anything beyond their book, and they try to force world events to fit into their Bible so that they can then justify their insecurity that they have in their religion. There's no need for insecurities. All you have to do is look at how the universe works, understand the Hermetic laws, and when you understand the Hermetic laws and how to utilize them, then you can maneuver your own personal universe to function in a way that grants you your heaven or your hell while you are consciously living here on this matter plane existence. And when you can do that, you'll be able to do the same for any level of existence that you ever go to. But believing in these Bibles and these Vedas and Qurans will never get you to that higher level of consciousness. And you will always, 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 always find yourself on the short end of the stick when it comes to the higher conscious level. You will never become a master. You will always live in the poverty of the meat suit that you live in today, which is the body. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.